Hey there fellow collectors, welcome back. David Eon here in the video game room with a surprise. This is actually the QMX Stuff of Dreams collection, and it actually says that on the box. The Stuff of Dreams. 1/6 scale Mr. Spock, and I've been waiting on this for a while. I have a couple of 6 scale QMX Star Trek in the museum. I do have a few pieces, but I do not have Mr. Spock. And as you can see, this one is completely factory sealed. I'm only just now opening this up for the purpose of doing this unboxing. And there he is. Star Trek, the original series, QMX Mr. Spock. And we're going to get right into opening this up here in a minute. QMX Master Series, Articulated it says. And they've done so far Kirk, Spock, McCoy, Khan, Scotty, and Sulu in this series. And they've done the chair. They made the captain's chair. Kirk and Spock are the hardest to get out of this series. And there's no flap on this box. There is a sleeve though. See, like that. And I'm going to go ahead and lift that sleeve off. And there is Mr. Spock in the box, which we are going to go ahead and get into this and get him open and take a look at him. I've done a review of Khan. Still got the seal on it. I'll go ahead and cut that open. I did a review on Khan, but I did not do a review on the chair or Dr. McCoy, because those are the other two that I have. I'm really on the lookout for a reasonably priced Kirk. Let me open this up without damaging it here. If you use any kind of tool, it's better to do it like that than to try to dig your fingers under it, because then you get a bad pinch through here if you're trying to keep the box in really good shape. I'm concentrating on getting the Kirk, or trying to find the Kirk for a reasonable price, because the Scotty and the Sulu, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. They're really not main characters. They're secondary characters on the show, supporting cast, but they are not in high demand. Their figures are still available even from QMX, even though these are all really limited numbers. These figures, I don't know if there's a number on this box. I don't see one, but usually QMX only does about 1,500 of these. It might say on his stand when I get his stand out how many there are. I'll have to look at that when I open it. And that's what we're going to jump cut to. I'm going to stop for a moment, get him out and set up, and we're going to take a look at Mr. Spock and his accessories.
You're not going to admit that for the first time in your life, you committed a purely human, emotional act?
No, sir.
Mr. Spock, you're a stubborn man.
Yes, sir.
And here we are back with our QMX Mr. Spock, classic Mr. Spock, out of the box, and we'll take some close-up views of him here and take a look at his accessories. And I think that's a very striking likeness of Leonard Nimoy. I think they did a pretty good job. He actually looks better, the figure looks better than does the photograph on the box. The photograph on the box looks kind of waxy, and you know, that could be because they have pictures of the prototype, but the actual figure itself is kind of spot on there. And we'll go ahead and turn him around. Really great likeness. And of course we'll be taking him down in a minute to test his articulation. I think they did a pretty good job on him. All the way around. Good job on the clothing as well. It doesn't look bulky. You know how sometimes they do these outfits for these figures and it's kind of chunky and bulky. Very form-fitting. See, get back in focus there. Try to get a close-up on that insignia. It's acting funny. But this clothing is very form-fitting. It looks good. And you gotta love those classic high water pants. Gotta love it. Leonard Nimoy, who passed away not too long ago. Not too many members of the original crew left. Still my favorite. Out of the original Paramount Studios Star Trek franchises, I don't like the modern stuff. The movies, I mean, they're okay. And the new show, I haven't really watched it. I mean, I took a look at it. It didn't look like anything that I'd be interested in, to be honest. But the older stuff still appeals to me. The original Star Trek universe. Including the animated series. Which, if you haven't seen the animated series, give it a shot. The writing in it is actually better than the original Star Trek. And it has the original cast doing the voices of their own characters, except for Walter Koenig, who played Chekhov. By the time they got to Walter Koenig, they had no money left. And so they just got some random guy and replaced his character with an alien with 3 arms. Don't ask. Just watch. Very nice overall. And of course, this is the second Mr. Spock produced by QMX. I missed out on the first one, unfortunately. And really the only difference seems to be that there are fewer accessories this time around. As I have the original McCoy, the real McCoy, and he has a ton of accessories. There's the stand, basic stand. It does not specify a number, but as I had pointed out, you know, these QMX Masterpiece Star Trek figures are typically limited to about 1,500 pieces. It's a ball hugger stand. I'm not a huge fan of these, to be honest, because at least this one is secure. I'll give QMX credit for that, because this goes deep enough into the platform that it'll be pretty secure, and so this part, the stem, won't topple, because sometimes the stems on these will flip over on you. But since most action figures are fairly top heavy, 6-scale figures, they can still teeter on this part and fall over to one side or the other, and you don't want these things falling all the time. Some of these figures are actually kind of fragile. Let's take a look at his hands. He's got several different hands. He's got like a Vulcan nerve pinch hand, and there's great detail on the hands too. You can see tendons and veins, and see the fingernails and the wrinkles at the knuckles. They do a good job on the detail. See the palms there. Good skin tone as well. But you got your Vulcan nerve pinch, or maybe even the Vulcan death grip if you want to be really aggressive about it. It's a sort of a pincer grip, or yeah, it can be used as either a pincer grip. See, that's flexible on the finger there, or for holding the phaser. It's a couple of fists here for in case you need Spock to mix it up. I would have liked to have seen Spock come with another head. A smiling head, actually. Because on the rare occasion that he smiled on the show, I think that would have been really cool, but you only get the one head. Moving along. You've got a couple of Vulcan Mind-Meld hands. And look at the coloring detail even on the hand here, where it looks kind of almost reddish at the knuckles. So you can do the Mind-Meld on someone. They can Mind-Meld a Kirstie Alley doll and then he can slap her when he's done like he did in the film. Does Kirstie Alley have a doll? I don't know. And a couple of like utility style hands. Here's another hand that can possibly hold the phaser. You see there. And then another gripping hand, maybe for the communicator or for the tricorder. Which we're going to take a look at these here in a second. There's the sort of Vulcan salute, live long and prosper. I saw an interview with Leonard Nimoy where he said that he got this from the Catholic Church. He went to church when he was a kid, and when they would do mass or whatever, they would do this during the ceremony. That's where he got the idea from. That's what he said in the interview anyways. I suppose you can't have a Spock figure without being able to do that. There's your phaser. And this phaser does break down. So you can disconnect this top part, because you know how sometimes they have like the mini phaser? See? So you have that option. There's a little magnet in there to help to hold it in place. The communicator does open. There we go. See? And then the tricorder with the long mixed media socials, with the long mixed media shoulder strap, and this should open up because I got the Dr. McCoy and his opens up. It is the screen, and there's the inner workings. Excellent. We'll get that closed back up. It's a little stiff actually right there. I don't want to hurt it. There we go. I don't believe this part opens up. Now we'll go ahead and pull down Mr. Spock and test his articulation. Take a look at how he works. Again, really good likeness. All of the QMX figures do have a good likeness, and I'll show you the top of his head here real quick. As you can see, it doesn't look like he's missing any paint, but some did rub off on the top of that package. But single jointed neck, up and down. He says yes very well. He says no. Side to side, a little bit limited there. Actually, the neck feels kind of loose, a little bit loose to me. I would like it to be a double jointed neck, but that's okay. Shoulder articulation is pretty good. They usually are on these. So it looks like he has no muscle tone when you do that to him. Feels like a single jointing in the elbow. No, I guess not. This one went double. How come this one isn't bending all the way? Must be something obstructing it. I got a double joint on one side and a single on the other. That makes no sense. Unless I'm just not doing it right. It won't go further than that. That is unusual. Got a pivot. Wrist movement is good. Why is that? I must be doing something wrong. I'm going to look into that a little further in a minute. Chest pivot. He's wearing a black t-shirt under there. Side to side, not bad. Hip movement. Forward and backwards, no side to side on the hips. It's got little pockets there. I don't know if anything will fit in the pockets though. Can't get in there. It pulls out like something might fit, but I don't want to push my luck with it. See if something will fit in his pocket. The pocket works. Look at that. You can put something in the pockets. Hip placement feels stiff. Legs come up. They don't go back very far. Limited split. It could be obstruction from the pants. You see there is a zipper on the back of the pants. That zipper is functional. It is on all of these. I'm not going to take his pants off, but I wanted to show you that that works. So you can undress him if you wanted to have a naked Leonard Nimoy. Double jointed knee. Pivot at the ankle, and he's got these really tall boots on, and the boots go over the feet, and his feet do have good pivot and tilt. Forward and backward not so much. Obstructed by the boots. Side to side works well though, and the boots also do come off. You see that they have the same zipper function, and it does open. You can get in there. I'm not going to mess with it, but you do have that option. I'm going to take one more look at this elbow joint, see if I can figure it out. I can't pull the sleeve up either, so that's as far as it's going to go. The left elbow just does not seem to want to bend further than a single jointing. Does anyone else have this figure if they run into that problem? Because obviously that's a full double joint in the left and the right arm. The left arm won't do it. That's interesting. But that's what you got. Now let me go ahead and test changing a hand out, just to see how well that works. Comes right off. And no problem putting it right back in. Now that we get that established, why don't we move Mr. Nimoy into a pose and get him down in the museum where he belongs and see how he looks.
Are you out of your mind? You were told to report to me at once.
I didn't want to, Jim.
Yes, I can see that.
And we are in the museum, and over here, coming to the 6th scale section, and there are the Star Treks. There is the DeForest Kelley, Dr. McCoy, the Ricardo Montalban Khan, the Captain's Chair, and the new edition, the Leonard Nimoy as Spock. Spock. And you can see here, if you look at them side by side, the Spock and DeForest Kelley, that Spock is obviously taller than the DeForest Kelley character. So it's true to the 6th scale. I appreciate that about how they did that. DeForest Kelley, I did not do a review on him, but he came with a ton of accessories. He came with absolutely almost everything that was in his laboratory, which I thought was really impressive. I did a review on the Khan. I thought that was a decent figure. But now we got Leonard Nimoy. Got our Mr. Spock. Let me just adjust him there. On the shelf, and this is the shelf that is designated for the 6th scale Star Trek figures as I get them. That's why there's some opening here, because I've kind of got that reserved. I'm anticipating getting the other 3 figures in the line and putting them up here. You see down here I've got the Mondo 6th scale Masters of the Universe, and then up there I got a variety of other things. Some Hot Toys, some Big Chief, and so on. But what do you think? Do you like Nimoy? Do you like the Mr. Spock? What do you think of his likeness? I would have liked to see him come with a few more accessories, maybe less hands. I mean, I appreciate that they put 11 hands in the package, but I'm not going to use them. And that's a matter of taste. That's a matter of preference. So I'm sure there's other people that would really like that. I still have not figured out that left elbow. So it looks like it's a single jointed elbow. Although I have not taken his shirt off, I don't know if I'm going to bother, because I'm fine with him. But I thought that was unusual that it was a real easy double elbow bend on the right side and then a single bend on the left. Makes no sense. And everybody else has a double elbow joint. I believe they do. Here's a captain's chair. This Khan took over the ship, obviously. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you have any of these figures? Are you interested in this series from QMX? Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Please give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. I hope you did. I hope you appreciated the unboxing. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you're new. Check out some of our other unboxing videos or showcases or weekly roundups, discussions, anything else that we do from here in the museum. Find us on Patreon. Link for that is down below. If you'd like to join our Patreon project, that would be greatly appreciated. Find us on Instagram, Open by Chance on Instagram, and we have a Facebook page as well. All of that information, all of those links are down below. So what more can I say? But thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.